Today, we're going to talk a little bit about stress. Stress, no fun for anyone. And I know that this is a particular topic of interest for a lot of folks. I've had quite a few um, inquiries to talk about stress. And there may be a lot of you watching, either for the first time or that have been following me since I've begun all of this. Um, this is going to be one of the ones that I don't like, just because I know all of the dangers that come along with stress, all the things that stress can cause on you physically, it can cause on you mentally, things that it can cause on you emotionally, spiritually even. So, what we're going to do before we move forward, I want you all to have a little class participation with me real quick. Do me a favor. Right now, wherever you are, take a moment and breathe. Take a deep breath in and let it out nice and slowly and easy. Breathe in for about 5 seconds and then take 10 seconds to breathe out. This is going to cause you to have to slow down. We tend to breathe very shallow throughout the day. That's rather we're talking, anything. We breathe very shallow. So we're not getting a lot of the necessary oxygen into us, and we're also not breathing out enough. Getting a lot of the carbon dioxide, the waste, out of us. So we're going to clear our lungs out real quick. We're going to breathe in for 5 seconds and hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then take 10 seconds right now to breathe out. Nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Relax your face. Some of you don't realize that your face is all tensed up and clenched up. Unball your fists. Relax your hands. Let your hands go. Lower your shoulders. Lower them down. A lot of you don't realize you're walking around all tense. Lower your shoulders intentionally. Lower them down. There you go. Relax your eyebrows, your cheeks, your mouth, your eyes. Relax. Really relax. This right here, what you're doing right now, first of all, if you did it, thank you for doing that. That class participation really helps. And it helps you. This is something that is very necessary that a lot of people don't do. Just taking a moment to breathe. And it's very easy to forget to do that because of the daily stresses of life, especially those of you that are parents to little ones, but the older ones can be a bit stressful as well. But there's a lot that goes into raising kids. There's a lot to be concerned about. There's a lot to try to be on top of. And there's some things that are just going to be out of your control. But we're going to get into that part in just a moment. A lot of people are working jobs that they don't like. A lot of people are working places they don't like. They don't like the people there. You don't like the company itself. You don't like the rules that are there. You don't like your boss. You don't like what the job is. That is a huge factor that goes into stressing. A lot of things. As a matter of fact, I've written a few things down. Some of the things that cause stress. And this is not in a particular order or ranking. These are just a few things that cause stress. So, divorce. And that can be a bit stressful. naturally so. I don't think anybody intentionally goes into a marriage with divorce in mind. At least I hope not. Now, there are some folks that do, but I hope no one's going into a marriage with divorce in mind. But also, I understand that with I believe the marriage, the rate right now is something like just over half of marriages end in divorce. Yeah, so now that means it's more than likely that you're going to get a divorce if you get married. I think that's reason enough to be stressed, especially if it happens. So divorce is definitely on that list. The passing of a family member. This is one that is very challenging for a lot of people because um, death is one of those things that you're kind of forced to have to deal with. You're kind of forced to have to find an understanding with. And rather it be an older family member, someone who's been, everyone's kind of understanding, okay, yes, that person's time, or the sudden passing of someone by some tragic situation. And first of all, if you're listening to this and you are right now dealing with the loss of a family member, you have the sincere condolences from Mr. Reed. You have sincere condolences. And also, understanding that the passing of a family member, on top of the emotional turmoil of losing that person, um, there's a lot of financial issues that come after it. And a lot of times, there's a lot of financial issues that come during it. So and a lot of people do not have simple things like life insurance put in place, wills put in place, trust put in place that give clear instructions on what to do with my stuff when I'm gone. And there are a lot of situations where the death of the family member was the least of the issues. Now you have family members feuding, you know, now after the funeral or during the funeral or whatever, now that so and so is not there to kind of mediate everything, now it's a brawl for it all. And this is unfortunately where a lot of families tend to begin falling apart. It's a very unfortunate fact, but it's definitely on the list of stress factors. Another one, marital or relationship issues. It is pretty, it's pretty, it's pretty consuming to be in a relationship with somebody because you're talking about two people raised in two different households, uh, raised that may have been raised under two different socioeconomic climates, two different geopolitical influences, certain different cultures, uh, different races. If you have interracial marriage or relationship, all these things play into place into the certain issues that may be occurring. It's just two different people. It's two different people coming together, especially if you live together. A lot of people don't realize, yeah, the romantic part of, oh man, we're gonna be together all the time. When I come home from work, you come home from work, we're gonna be together. You'll be right there. When it's time to watch a movie, you'll be right there. Oh, it's time to make some food. You'll be right there. The little romantic scenes where somebody's, stirring some pot, and they're in the kitchen and somebody comes behind them and then another, oh, so romantic. Here's the reality of getting together with somebody. That is somebody that you are going to be around a lot. So, not only all the good traits, the good things, the things that you like and love about that person, now all the things you don't like, the things you don't love about that person are now up in your face, all in the place, all day long. The unromantic parts of things. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. It actually takes skill to be in a relationship, and a lot of people don't realize that. Being in a relationship is a skill set. Being able to communicate with someone that you're around a lot is a skill set. If you are communicating with your friends, you talk with them on the phone, you hang out with them, but after a few hours or whatever, then you go back home. Family members, same thing. You talk to them on the phone or you go hang out with them. Okay, after a few hours, you go back home. But with your significant other, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your fiance, your husband, your wife, you talk to them. You might talk to them on the phone a lot, may or may not. Uh, but you're talking to them on the phone. You are you're texting them or whatever. Hang out, don't hang out. Either way, there's no okay. I'm going home now. You are home. So if tension builds up for whatever reason, a disagreement, a lack of seeing eye to eye on a certain thing, a lot of times there's no all right. I'm just going to go home because you already are home. What do you do then? It kind of forces you to deal with things. The good part about that is when you deal with two people that actually love each other, that actually care about each other, even in the midst of a disagreement, there's going to be a certain level of respect, certain level of space, certain level of understanding, certain level of forgiveness that is going to automatically be there, and it's going to make working through things way easier, way easier. Now, that's only if you got two people that truly love each other and truly want the best for each other. Some of you all in relationships that are not based in love, not based in truly wanting that other person, wanting to be with that person, truly wanting to be around that person. Some of you all are in relationships out of convenience. And when times get difficult, that's when it shows. That's another video for another day. But all in all, that's definitely on the list of things that cause you stress. A lack of a relationship, being single. I know a lot of people, oh man, I'm single by choice. I'm single because I want to. I'm single because the dating pool ain't this, the dating pool ain't that. Men ain't worth of this, women ain't worth of that. I know. The typical gender war stuff. But we as human beings are designed to be community. We're designed to be social. We need each other. The saying, no man is an island, it's been around for a long time. And it's been around for a reason. Good chance somebody tried to be an island and it didn't work. So, being single, and if you're single right now, and if you're single by choice or single by force, either way, this is not a shot against you. You may not necessarily be stressed out about your signal. You may be happy. You may be. I mean, there is a certain freedom that comes from not really being accountable to someone else. You just go and come as you please. You got your own place. You got your own world. That's cool. It's cool. But just know that we are meant to be with somebody. We're meant to be in a relationship. That's the whole reason why a relationship is a thing in the first place. Otherwise, over the course of the entire existence of human beings, somebody would have said, you know what, this relationship thing ain't working out. Yeah, let's just get together, mate, continue to race, continue to not the race, the human race rather, continue the species, and just go on about our business. And that's where we would have been right now. And I know that's how some people try to operate. But the reality is we need relationships. We need people. We need each other. We need community. We need it. And when you don't have that connection, because you're made to connect with someone. You're physically made to connect to someone. You're mentally made to connect with someone. You're emotionally made to connect with someone. And if you don't have someone to connect with, that causes a lot of stress. This is why you're on, not you, but this is why that's on the list. Another big stress factor, losing your job. Oh, you may or may not be speaking to someone with experience with that. Losing your job is very hard. It's very, very hard. Number one, uh, being excluded from a thing that you've been made a part of, that carries an emotional thing. That hurts. It hurts being fired. Even if it's a job that you hate, even if it's a job that, you just can't wait to one day be released from. Wait, one day I'm gonna get my freedom from this place. Oh, I hate this place. Oh, I hate coming in. Da-da. If you get fired from a place, even that place, that still hurts. That still hurts. Losing, especially if you have people depending on you, because now the question of how you're going to do that, how you're going to take care of your significant other, how you're going to take care of your kids, how you're going to take care of yourself. Now, some people are able to bounce back and find another job just like that. Other people, it might take a while. It might take a long while. And this is very, very stressful. And that's why it's on the list. Another one that's on the list, and I didn't really think much about this until I started doing a little more research, retirement. Retirement. And if you think about it, the reason why this is on the list is because usually when someone retires from a job, retires from a career, you're talking about at the very least 20 years, and you're talking about a lot of folks upwards of 30 years. Some people 40 years. That's a long, long time to have a certain thing that you do every day of the week. You go to a certain building, you go to a certain place, you put on a certain uniform, you have a certain structure, you have a certain guidelines, you have certain things that you do every day. And you've been doing that for decades. That's a lot of years to have a system, certain system go on. And I talk about productivity and having systems in place in another video coming soon. When you do that for years and years and years and years and years and years, and now all of a sudden, time to stop. Congratulations. Here is your retirement money, and here's your plaque for being here for X amount of years. Now go forth and be great. You walk into that place, you were young, you were spry, you were bright eyed, you were bushy tailed, you were optimistic, and now here you are walking out. You got gray, you're tired, you're exhausted, you are torn. You're torn. Because now, what do you do? Now, yeah, initially, oh man, I can do whatever I want. I can sleep in. I can, if I want to go to a vacation, I don't have to go around the work schedule anymore. I can just go whenever I want. I don't have to make sure I get back in at a certain time because, well, I'm not getting up for work in the morning. I can do what I want. The world is my oyster. Here I am to shuck it. But after a while, that kind of wears off. Once you realize, okay, yeah, I can do what I want and all that stuff, that kind of wears off. And you're like, oh man, now I don't really feel like I have a need to get up. I don't really feel like I have much keeping me, moving and going. And that could be a stressful thing. Not knowing what to do now. Now you feel like, okay, you've already served your purpose. Now, do I have another purpose? Do I have a purpose for getting up in the mornings? Do I have a purpose for taking a shower? Do I have a purpose for putting on clothes? Do I have a purpose for leaving the house? This is a lot of mental turmoil that a lot of people don't realize. And that's why it's on this list of things that are stressful. The last thing I have on my list um, is financial hardships. That's a pretty obvious one. If you don't have money enough to live well, can't really live well. If you don't have money enough to enjoy your world, enjoy your life, that's difficult. That's difficult. Some people have financial hardships because they don't have a job, they're trying to get a job, they're in between jobs, whatever it is. That's stressful because now you're taking something that you normally was able to have this and that in place, no problems, no questions, but now that you're in between employments, um, that stability, that normal, okay, I've got this, I've got this, I've got that, that's not there right now. And that's very stressful, especially if you got people depending on you. It's very stressful. Some people, they have a job. Some of you have a job, but it's not enough. It's not paying you enough. It's not paying enough to actually be on top of things. So you kind of feel like you are taking a bucket and scooping out water from the ocean, throwing it at the sand, and trying to make a difference. Now, if you have the visual of that, that's pretty difficult to do. Also, if that visual sounds crazy, I literally just came up with that on the spot just now. So, forgive me. But yeah, all these things and so much more are on this list of things that causes stress to happen. Causes stress to happen in a big way. Now, let's go into what are the things that stress will end up causing to happen to you. High blood pressure, heart disease, anxiety. That's a big one. That's a big one. And that's a very common one. Nowadays, it's very common to hear about someone that has anxiety or takes anxiety medication. Um, Digestive issues, yeah, headaches, a weakened immune system, sleep disturbances. All these things sound very, very familiar. They sound familiar to you because you're dealing with them, or you know somebody that's dealing with them, and they sound familiar to me because I may have had to deal with a few of them myself. There's your moment of transparency. So yeah, stress will cause a lot. Stress will kill you. Did y'all know that? There are some people that die from stressing too much. You are literally hurting yourself when you stress. Now, there's a difference between stressing and being concerned about something. Stressing over something kind of goes into the feeling that it's something that you can't control. You want to control it, but you can't control it, and that lack of being able to solve the problem up here in your brain. Because remember, your brain thrives on problems being solved. It thrives on one plus one, two being right there, the answer being right there. Your brain thrives on things making sense, questions being answered, problems being solved, uh, puzzles being put together. Your brain doesn't do too well when a problem is not solved, when a thing is not done, when something is incomplete, something is unanswered. Your brain doesn't do too well with that. And when you have stress about something, essentially there's a problem, there's an issue. Either you can't find a solution to it, or you know what the solution is, you just don't have the resources to make it happen right now. So essentially, that's a shoestring that's been left untied. That's a problem that's been unsolved, and you know how to solve it, but you can't. You don't have the resources to solve it. So that's hurtful. It's very internally hurtful. So if you're dealing with stress or a stressful situation right now, one of the main things that you can do that will help you cope in a sense is number one, acknowledge that it is a stressful situation. One of the things you don't want to do is fool yourself and say, oh, this is nothing. I'm stressing over nothing. It's not nothing. It's not nothing, because if it was nothing, you wouldn't be thinking about it. It is something. And depending on what it is, it could be a big something. So, acknowledging what it is. Yes, this is a big thing, and it affects this, and this. It is stressful. Admit that. There's no shame in that. Admit it. It is stressful. And it is very stressful, depending on what it is. The second thing you could do is understand that there are some things that you can change, and then there's some things that you can't. Now, the things that you can't change, it hurts because you can't change it. You want to change it. You want to make it change. Or you want to make a person change. There's no changing a person. There's no changing a thing. You're not going to change it. And the more you try, the more you are going to be essentially going to a brick wall and pushing against it, hoping it's going to fall over. Now, those of you that are personal trainers, exercise physiologists, kinesiologists, all those things like that, you know that performing isometric exercises like that, pushing against something that's not going to move, you know that that carries actually some benefit. But we're not talking about that right now. We are talking about the image of somebody pushing against a wall, an immovable object, and trying to move that object. No matter how much you try, guess what you're not going to do? Move that wall. You're not doing it. It's not happening. It's not happening. So that's what it looks like when you're trying to change something that you can't change. And it doesn't matter how much you fuss. You can't fuss it into changing. You can't fuss the wall down. You can't argue the wall down. You can't cuss the wall out and make it fall. The wall's not moving. There are certain things that are walls that you are trying to move. And it's going to take some soul searching, some digging deep into here and into here. Looking at your situation and realizing what's the difference between something that you can move and the wall that you can't move. If something is a wall or someone is a wall that you can't move, stop trying to change it. Stop trying to move it. Stop that. That's greatly contributing to your stress. Do you want high blood pressure? Do you want heart disease? Do you want anxiety? Do you want digestive issues? Do you want headaches? Do you want weakened immune system? Do you want sleep disorders and disturbances and a whole host of other things that I haven't even put on this list? Do you want that? If you don't, then stop trying to move an immovable object. These are the things that you can't change. Now, what about the things that you can change? You. That's what you can change. You can change you. You can't change your friends. You can't change your family members. You can't change your co-workers. You can't change your spouse, your significant other. You can't change anybody else. You can influence them to a certain degree, but you can't change them. You can change you. Well, how do you do that? Well, you have to change how you feel about the situation, which means you have to gather more information. Gather more information on this thing that may be stressing you out. Because if you learn more about it, you begin to understand more about it. And when you understand more about it, you can make a better decision whether or not this is something you need to continue to try to deal with or just leave it alone. Do something else. Sometimes the best way to navigate a brick wall, instead of trying to push it, walk around it. Walk around it. There's ways to get there. and that the saying has been around forever. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Now, sounds pretty harsh, and I think it is pretty harsh. I don't think anybody just goes around trying to skin a cat, but apparently there are several ways to do it. So take this thing figuratively, of course. Don't harm any animals. There are more than one. There's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to do a thing. There's more than one way to make something happen. When I was a firefighter, one of the things that I learned early on was that if there was a thing that I was trying to do, if I was trying to get a door open, trying to break something open, trying to move a thing, whatever it was, if I spent more than about 5 to 7 seconds doing that thing and I wasn't making any progress, either one or two things are going to happen. Either I was going to get stuck in that loop of I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. Meanwhile, someone's life is on the line and slipping away by the second, all because I'm stuck in this loop of I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. Or I'm gonna, all right, stop it, pass it on to somebody else, or try another way. Try another way and get to rescuing somebody and get to mitigating the emergency. So let's bring that mindset to your world. That thing that's stressing you out so much, the way that you're trying to deal with it, is that the only way that exists? Is that the only way that exists? Is there another way to do this? Is there another way to handle this? Because what you might do is you might try and try and try to get through to this person. You might try and try and try to get that one particular job. Or you might try and try and try to get to that one particular neighborhood, whatever it is. But you're so locked in on trying to make this thing happen that you're completely ignoring the plethora of options that you have that you can utilize, that you can go another pathway to getting to that thing, to that person that you want. Or open up your mind, expand your horizon, and say, maybe I don't need to try to get to that thing. Maybe I don't need to try to get through to that person. Maybe I should just go to another thing. Maybe I should just try to be with another person. I'm not encouraging you to break up with your people, with your person, but there are some relationships that are not good relationships. So be creative, be expansive in your mind. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So, your image. The reason why I, as an image consultant, am talking to you about stress is because when you're stressing, it's obvious. It may not be as obvious to you, especially because the effects of stress happen little by little, more and more over time. So you don't even realize after a while all those dark circles around your eyes that start to build up more and more and more and more. You don't even realize it. You don't even realize how pale your skin is looking more and more and more over time. You don't even realize how different you talk, how different you speak to people. Your actual speech patterns start to sound down, sound all stressed out and just washed out more and more over time. You don't notice it, you don't realize it. Your self care declines more and more and more and more because you care less and less and less about these things because you're stressing more and more and more about all the things that you're stressing about. You don't realize these things right away, but everyone else does. Everyone else that is receiving what I call your overall presentation package, that thing that you give to everyone that you come in contact with on a regular basis that determines how they should respect you, how they should view you, how they should treat you, how they should act towards you. Should they open this door for you? Not literal, well, yeah, literal door as well, but a figurative door. Should they open this door for you? Should they keep it closed to you? On down the road, on down the road, on down the road. And this is what you give to people, whether you speak to them or not, whether you make eye contact with them or not, because they still see you. They still see what you have on. They still see how you look, what's your upkeep level, what's your grooming level, what's your hygiene level. They look to see how you behave, how do you walk, how do you carry yourself, all these things are in the overall presentation package. And that's why an image consultant is sitting here talking to you about stress. Because your stress is obvious to everyone. And it affects how everyone treats you. Now, I'm not just an image consultant, I am also a life coach. So, the life coach side of me wants to make sure that you are able to your stress. Manage your stress and manage things that are causing you stress. And one huge thing that's going to help you manage whatever it is that you're stressing about is your mindset. Mindset. Because everything starts here. A big old building down the street started out in somebody's mind. That big, beautiful bridge that you drove across earlier today, that big old bridge started in somebody's mind. A lot of the things that you enjoy today started out in somebody's mind. So that's where we begin dealing with managing stress. Start here. Having a different mindset towards these things that you stress about. Understanding the difference between what you can manage and what you can't manage. What it is that you can change and what you can't change. That's a huge start. That's a huge start. And a lot of people are not able to get themselves together to make that determination. And that's understandable. It's understandable. So, what are you going to do about this? Are you going to continue running on that hamster wheel all by yourself? Are you going to continue going into that same cycle that doesn't change at all? Definition of insanity, by the way. Or are you ready to do something different? Are you ready to go into a new direction? One that's going to actually be productive. One that's going to actually get you from where you are to where you want to be. Are you ready? Visit stylebymrreid.com. STYLEDBYMRREID. Stylebymrreid.com. Take a look around and see what speaks to you. And book your session with me. And let's get you to the best you that you can be. And I'm simply going to be your mirror check before you hit that front door. Reach out to me on my website. Reach out to me at info@styledbymrreid.com. That's STYLEDBYMRREID. Info@styledbymrreid.com. Reach out to me. Leave a comment here in this video. Do something. Reach out. Let me know. Because trying to manage the stress thing is not easy. It's not easy. Especially if you're doing it alone. But if you got somebody to motivate you along the way, this is definitely something that can happen. Brighter days ahead. Let's make it happen. So, until next time, take care. Don't Don't let stress get the best of you.